We are live. Hey, this is Sue Greenwald with Awaken Stories. I'm here today with the real, the one and only John F. Kennedy Jr. Hey, John, how are you today?
I'm always good when you invite me on your show, Sue.
Oh,
It's awesome.
anytime.
Thank you.
It's always just a function of free time, which it seems like I don't have as much as I'd like. But I run into
Work.
people all the time and I tell them, that I work with you, I talk with you on my channel, and they always look at me with blank stares and say, well, didn't he die? Or they ask the basic question. So here's the answer. No, he didn't die. He's here now with us. So I'm so glad to see you again.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Huge achievements. I don't have to hold up that handwritten thing anymore.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the quiet journey. If any of these people have questions, well, why didn't he die and all that? The movie's right there.
Right. So how is that documentary doing?
All together with all the shares for being out a week, it's had 40,000 views so far.
That they're counting properly, right?
Well, it might have more, but
Yeah.
yeah, between my YouTube and the website and your channel and Dr. Kia's channel and all that, I believe it's right around 40,000 views,
Right. Right.
which
Okay.
is awesome. I got probably 20 envelopes. I've been asking the Lions and you people that want to share this on your car, give them away or whatever, to email me your address and I'll put 20 of these in an envelope and send it to you.
Okay.
If you get me that address early enough before the post office closes, I'll get them out today. But yeah, we got gifted a bunch of these. The first shipment arrived, and we've been stuffing envelopes, and we got stamps to send them, and we're getting them out.
Yeah. Well, now, is there any charge for these stickers?
Oh no, it's just trying to get the truth out to the world.
Okay.
So yeah, there's no charge. They were actually gifted to me, which is wonderful. I even got gifted some stamps yesterday in the mail,
Oh, nice.
and yeah, so we're doing it. We're getting them out, which is wonderful. I think I can't thank the people that give me these things enough with all my heart. Because the story doesn't, you know, how should I word that? It helps me get justice, but it helps the world get justice for waking up and realizing, hey, our government's a murder crime ring, and we need to do fix it.
Right. Well, so for anyone that doesn't know, the Quiet Journey TV, there's a brand new documentary out. It's out about a week or so that is so well done. It explains the story of John's, upbringing and where he's been all this time and what happened to him briefly, as does his book, Stolen Identity, available on both Barnes and Noble and Amazon. All right. So this explains the basic story that we always embellish on a little bit more every week. And then John has another book about him, The Historian's Tale by Mary Maxwell and John F. Kennedy Jr. Okay.
And there is also a link to the books and a story on the website, the real John F. Kennedy
Right.
Jr.com. You can go
Right.
there, and it's a beautiful, well made website. It shares it all.
Right. And that also has the video on it as well. Okay, on
Right.
the home page. So if you're interested in watching that video and you don't know where to go, okay, and you can't remember the quietjourney.tv, go to the real John F. Kennedy Jr.com, and you're going to see all sorts of information about his life, links for the books, and the whole video of the quiet journey. All right. So that should give you like kind of a filler as to what's happened. And
I
then,
even got a message on the website this morning, somebody saying, here's my address, send me some bumper stickers.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, these are great. I covered the truck with them. Well, I didn't cover. I'm keeping it classy. I put one on the side windows,
Yeah,
on each side window, and two on the back. And then I
yep,
did Robin's car the same way, and it
yep.
looks really cool. It's a really
Good.
cool little bumper sticker to help show your support and patriotic, whatever you want to
Right.
call it, for the truth. and getting it out there.
Right. So basically, in the description of every video, it's I put your address, your mailing address, donation link, and all of that stuff. So for those that want these bumper stickers, you can contact John through the description below once you see it.
And by the way, these are all works from Daddy. Daddy wants
Awesome.
his story out, and the person that sent me this says Daddy's getting it out. So
All right. Well, it's absolutely true, which is why we're almost to the finish line, is what I titled this video for. So I told you a couple months ago, this is the year this story's out. Okay, so
that's right. That's right. This
we've
year.
experienced so much censorship, you have no idea. So I did a video the other day with King Smarty and they took it right down. Okay, so we do them live and then I put the recorded version up as well. They took it right down. So why would they bother taking something like that down if it's, let's just say we're making stuff up, right? Let's say we're making the story up. Why bother? Right? There's so much
Yeah.
disinformation out there that we already know about. So we're over the target.
Well, I was watching you guys. I think it was yesterday. It said live. It said Sue and Smarty's live, and I'm sitting
Yeah.
there watching it. And then I put my finger on the thing and I run it across, and you guys were already done. I was like, well, why is it coming up live if the video's already been
Yeah.
lived? So,
Yeah. Well,
but
they're
anyway,
also playing with the numbers. So we'll have so many people watch the video. I'll turn it off and it will say like 3 viewers or something. And then we have like, let's say I'll go to bed and we've got 1,000 views. I'll wake up the next day and there'll be like 500. You know what I mean? They're playing with the numbers.
oh,
That's
most definitely. A good
it.
example of that is I was making a YouTube live on my YouTube channel just this morning, and it said there was one person that was viewing, and I looked down, and 3 people had already said, "Good morning, John."
Yeah, yeah. So they're playing with the numbers. So, when you see the channel size or the view size or whatever, that is irrelevant because they are trying to suppress. Like people often won't even watch a video if it doesn't have a lot of public views, right? Because then it means it's not good, right? Well, they're
Yeah.
censoring this. So, that's a real thing. We've tried to get on, sometimes they won't let us on Zoom, sometimes we can't get on YouTube, or they'll take the video down. And they've taken our videos down as well. So,
I can't wait for their reaction. We've been struggling for so long to get the story out. It's coming out this year,
yep.
but what are they going to say? How come what are they going to say? How come you guys haven't shared John's story sooner? What can they say?
Well, and that is one question I often get is why are you just choosing now to come out? Well, hello. He's been trying for, what'd you say, 7 or 8 years
Yeah,
from
it's been
social
quite a
media.
while.
Yeah. And
I have a sign out front that was from what was it, 2020?
yeah.
And I said JFK for president for 2020. So I was probably 2 years before 20. So what's that, 2018? I'm walking around town here, broke, looking for change on the ground, pulling a wagon with an American flag on the back, with a presidential flag on the back saying, I want justice for John. And the cops pulling me over saying, what is this? It's like I'm a patriot. What's
Yeah.
it to you? Crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, anyway, I'm glad you're here. I just wanted to explain that for people because, we do have new viewers and they're like, what? He doesn't look the same. He doesn't have a Boston accent or, like ridiculous things because they don't know. So we
and
want
and
to help.
people don't understand.
Right.
I'm exposing. When I was coming out, I thought I didn't think I would live very long. I really didn't. I thought, if my story doesn't get out soon, I'll be dead before it gets out. That's how these
Yeah.
people operate.
Yeah.
Because I'm exposing the crime ring at the very, very top, and it's huge. The man that stole my identity is hanging out with Bill and Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and Ted Kennedy and all these people at the very top.
Right.
And even Donald Trump saying, yeah, I'd vote for him for president. He's a good guy. And it's like, that's the crime ring right freaking there. And you want me to come out when I know these people, unalive people, so their stories don't get out?
Right.
And then I was told, my whole life, if you ever say anything, you're dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and what I want to point out to people is that this, not your story, but what they've done to you is not uncommon. Okay. They've done it to so many celebrities, children, celebrities themselves. I mean, they've done it to anyone with influence or, we'll call it wealth.
Right.
And, so that,
Everybody. Not,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's widespread.
right.
Um, if they're in the entertainment business, they're under the control of the cabal right then and there. If
Yeah,
they're in Hollywood,
yeah,
if they're anybody, I mean, I'm not talking just a stand-in, that's standing in the background. I'm talking, the stars, the main people in Hollywood. They are all affected by the cabal,
right,
100%, or they would not be a star. They
right.
would not be, you know, if there's a concert in your hometown, whether it's country, western, music, pop, rock, whatever it is, if they're on stage and the stage is big enough, they're under the control of the cabal. It's all about the green money.
It is power, control, and money, right?
I
So,
mean, they're untouchable. You imagine the police arresting Lady Gaga, and it ain't gonna happen. Or them arresting Harrison Ford for some reason. These stars, they're protected.
as long as they play the game properly, they're
Oh yeah,
protected.
and if they don't play the game, then they're exposed,
Yeah. So,
and then they're hung
so
in prison.
yeah. Or worse, sometimes they're cloned and their original is no longer with us.
Well, I haven't been a really good boy my whole life either, and I've done some pretty people that piss me off.
Yeah, but you've been almost killed only a jillion times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when somebody tries to poison me, poison is not fun. I think when they tried to poison me, it's a coward's way out. It really is. So, yeah, I can honestly say I've shown no mercy to somebody that has tried to poison me before.
Yeah. And well, you in your book, you've told story after story about how you were almost shot or they'd be coming for you and you knew have that sixth sense. You would know about it and recognize it and they turn around and walk away, right? But it's happened so many times.
Yeah, and it only takes one mistake, Sue.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So
if you, it could drive me crazy. And that's why I love this pendant so much. Because I step out of this house every single day thinking I'm going
see.
to get my head blown off, right?
Yeah.
Or I go turn the key in my car and think it's going to blow up. It's just natural for me to think that because it's happened so many times. But poison, yeah, I was poisoned. I think it's in my book, but I was laying in the trailer house. This was when I was pretty young, and my bones hurt from the inside out. I believe it was rat poison that they had given me, but I would have committed suicide. I was in that much pain. I just could not move. And somebody walked in that trailer house, looked at me and said, "Oh, you're still alive," and then walked
Oh,
out. They walked in thinking I would be dead, laying there in bed dead.
yeah. Yeah.
And that's the kind of bullshit, poison's been around for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. They've took out many rulers with the use of poisons. But to me, it's a coward's way to kill somebody. It really is.
Who was the person that walked in and said, "Oh, you're still alive"?
I do believe that was Dorothy Quigley.
Ah, okay. Horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, I thank God for the good. See, it's a war. It really is. It's a war at the top. You got the good guys and you got the bad guys. And I thank God because I was almost to the end, and some good guys came in and gave me medical treatment. And they had to be really sneaky about giving me medical treatment, but they obviously knew what was going on
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
fixed me up.
Yeah.
Not, it's all, when you've been poisoned, it's very painful and everything else. But you
Yeah.
know,
We've
so
talked
is some of the things I've been through.
we've talked about this before where they can mess you up, but you're still here with us, right? So Um,
I move a lot slower now, though, Sue.
yeah, yeah. But you're not making it secret where you live or anything. So people could find you if they really wanted to. But I wouldn't suggest that they try to do that because
No,
you
I
have,
got my flag. I got my flag flying right out front, and I'm right here in Bullhead City, Arizona. And anybody that comes here with bad intentions,
yeah,
sorry about their luck.
it's not going to end well for them. All right, that's all I'll say. And yeah, so don't try
I
it.
mean, not that even though I'm protected, it's I gotta still worry about it because it only takes a split second. But
Well, it's natural to protect yourself. Like we're born with that impulse, I think, and you've had to refine that through your whole life with poisoning, shootings, stabbings, and all sorts of stuff that you've had happen to you, which many of it, which is outlined in your book. I know there's more stories you haven't told us, but you get to the point where you can feel the poor intentions of someone when you're walking by them or when they're walking toward you. You get that feeling like something isn't right and your senses are on high alert.
yeah,
And
well, the
that's,
cabal is very good at what they do
yeah,
too. I mean,
yeah,
you can be walking into the grocery store and one walk, a guy, a member of the organized
yeah,
syndicate, crime family, whatever, will walk right up to you and say, "Oh, hello, how you doing today?" Shake your hand with a big smile. They're good at what they do.
yeah, they're very good. Yeah. And some of them are not in this reality or dimension either.
Yeah. Well,
So,
even in the mob movies, a lot of that is so very, very true.
yeah,
There's so many examples out there, but in organized crime, the movie Donnie Brasco with Al Pacino and Johnny Depp is a great, great example of
yeah,
it. It's so true. Your best friend in the syndicate, organized crime, is the one that is going to take your life, and it's going to be a split second. It's so very true.
right,
They all are work on loyalty, family, and orders from the top. And if you get an order from the top to take out your best friend, your cousin, whatever, if you don't carry that out, you are also dead.
right.
That simple. Unless you say, okay, I don't care if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna fight for what's right, and then you probably end up dead anyway. And that's kind of what I did. I just said, hey, I'm not gonna stand for it.
Yeah, I mean it's really very stressful. Stress does it really does a number on your body. Okay, it affects your health in a very negative way. And also it's not fun, is it? But so you lived your whole life
Oh,
in
from ulcers, and then you got the poison on top of that, and
yeah,
then you go to
yeah,
the hospital, and then the hospital tries to kill you.
yeah. It's not funny. I'm sorry to laugh, but it's like they've done so many things to you without success. Without success. So yay.
And I'm hoping that they keep up their good work.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you're protected. It's never fun to be hurt, though, no matter what it
No.
is.
And when they
But
do try, then they expose themselves, and usually that can be traced down to who sent them. It's all just like the movies. They got and it's just like anything else. It's like the police force. It's like our FBI, our Secret Service.
yeah,
They got the head people, and then you trickle down to the soldiers, and then you got the sticks. I call them the sticks. That's the throwaway people. It's like they don't care if they live or die. They use them as to throw them away. It's like, hey, go
yeah,
find out what this guy's doing, and that guy's going to kill them just for them showing up.
yeah,
But yeah, and that that's how it is. That's
yeah,
reality. It's not
yeah.
good. It's not good. We need a country where that doesn't exist anymore.
No one should have to go through the torture, the kidnapping, and all the negative events that you did ever, let alone a president's son, right?
Yeah, I learned the hard way, and one thing I learned was if they want to get to someone and you have children, you're done.
Yeah,
They will get to your children, and They have no problem unaliving children. I've seen it. I'm a witness to that, and that's what they do. And I don't know. I really don't have the
Yeah,
answer for what we're going to do to fight. A lot of praying and a lot of standing up for righteousness,
right.
because it's a huge evil organization.
Well, we know that many of the bad guys have been taken care of or are in process of being taken care of. The problem is that the general population doesn't know. So they think they're still out there running around. A lot of them don't even realize that they're bad in general, right? But we need to know the real truth and have it exposed. And I'm not sure how that's going to go, if it's going to be all at once or how, but that's coming. So we're going to see clearly what people have done,
Hey,
right?
Robin,
Yeah.
can you go check on Kitty? I think she's in there now or something. I don't know. I could be wrong. Sorry, Sue.
Yep, no problem. So, usually when we do these videos, we just check in, see what you're doing, what status you're in, any stories you want to share, that sort of thing. And we see you got a new dog, and that was very exciting to see. So he's keeping you busy.
Oh yeah, he messed up my hand really good yesterday. I had to go get him his rabies shot, and
Oh.
that was a new adventure for me, standing in a line with a new dog, and he was doing circles, and there was 30 other dogs there, and they're all barking and wanting to fight each other. And I was like, wow, I never had to do this before. This is kind of
Yeah,
wild.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I got him because he was real friendly with cats. I made sure when he was at the pound, I mean, they brought out their little house cat at the pound, and he went up and kissed it on the nose. So I was like, oh, this is gonna work. But
yeah,
then the kitty um is all freaked out, tried swatting him and every other thing, ran
yeah,
up a tree the other day,
yeah.
and she's been on the bed just every time he walks by, she hisses at him. So
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully
she's
they'll
under
get
a lot of
along with each
stress.
other. Yeah. Well, he's physically big slash a dog.
Yeah. But she's actually getting used to it now. She
Yeah.
When he walks in the room, she doesn't actually go crawl under the bed real fast.
Awesome.
So
Awesome. Yeah. So that's your new addition to the family. And anything else new in the past week or so?
that movie was, being released last week was huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's one thing we're gonna do everything we can to make it go viral. I You lions, if you see this, please make a video or a short that says The Quiet Journey.
Yeah.
I'm going to be handing out bumper stickers like crazy. And Robin even stuck one right on the paint right
Yeah.
here.
Well, that's good because if I forget the name of it, I can look right behind you.
Yeah, so that's a wonderful, huge achievement there.
Totally.
I got talk shows lined up. I don't even know who I'm talking to. They
Oh,
just said, let's do a talk show. I'm like, let's do it. It's all about getting the truth out to the world.
awesome.
But yeah, I got two other talk shows to do today,
Yep.
and one of them will be on TikTok later this afternoon. I'll be on my account, the Frisco Kid Kennedy on TikTok. And that will be, I believe, if it all happens right and they don't kick us off at 8 o'clock Eastern time.
Okay. Well, my big news is I just joined TikTok the other day,
Ah,
and I have no idea how to use it at all, and I kind of don't want to know. But
it's fun once you learn,
yeah,
except
yeah,
it's not fun when you go to
yeah,
all the trouble and make a really cool video, spend an hour and a half sitting there playing on your phone or whatever, and then
yeah, yeah,
they take it down and say misinformation. You're like,
yeah,
it ain't misinformation. And I know so many people that have been kicked off just for holding my book up.
yeah, yeah.
And the
Well,
freedom.
when I was
I
setting
was
up, go ahead, go
I
ahead.
was actually on YouTube, and I tried putting in the word bondage
Ooh,
in my title. Like, we're tired of being in bondages, and
yeah,
whatever it was. They would not, like, it was a dirty word. It was just dots that came up. So I got rid of the dots. I tried it again. Dots came up. For some reason, they're hindering the word bondage. I don't know why, but I couldn't get the word bondage in my title. When you say shit or the F word, it comes up little dots.
Yeah,
Same thing.
interesting. Yeah. Well, they're protecting everyone from knowing the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, they're protecting us from
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. What have we gotten ourselves into in this world?
I know the world is upside down. Like, you know what I mean? Like the way it used to be, it sounds so archaic anymore, but things are not the way they should be. Hey there, Bubba.
Say hi. Look,
Hi.
that's Sue.
How old is he?
They said at the vet yesterday
Yeah.
he's probably closer to 4 years old.
Yeah.
And I found out yesterday Robin started giving him commands, and he's been trained. He sits, he shakes, he lays down.
Right.
She had him doing a couple other things, and he did it. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, it's shocking how we treat other people, we humans. It's also shocking how we treat animals. Like I'm in some animal rescue groups and it's just shocking what people will do, you know?
It's heartbreaking going in that shelter. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you know you're coming out with one, but which one? And there's so many to choose from. And half of them, you know, they're scared to death, and half of them want to bite you. And you know they're not really that way.
Yeah.
And you hear all this barking going on. You know it must be driving them crazy hearing
It's
that
gonna be
barking going on
horrible.
24 hours a day.
Yeah. Horrible. So I always love it when people rescue dogs, and or cats, so it gives them a second chance,
But
right?
I was there yesterday getting his rabies shot, and they were out walking the dogs individually in the back parking lot. And there's some beautiful dogs down there right now. And I'm in Bullhead City, the Bullhead City Pound. They're giving them away, all their shots. They're chipped and everything. And there's a beautiful husky down there right now. Beautiful.
Uh-oh.
So if you need a puppy, go get one. It's
Yeah.
free.
Yeah. Yeah. And people will buy them from the puppy mills at a great cost when there's so many for very low cost in you know, the rescue places. So yay.
This big dummy right here was just chasing his tail. I never seen him do that. He was actually chasing his tail in a
That's
circle.
funny.
He
Well,
didn't get it though.
it seems like your life has gotten better, better, better in the past year since we've been talking. You know what I mean? Like you've had some setbacks and
Yeah.
some trauma, but in general, your health has improved. Like you've got a better place to live now.
Oh,
And
most definitely. And
yeah,
that's thanks to so many people, caring people.
yeah,
And it's so appreciated.
yeah.
Just like you, Sue. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Like my goal in life at this moment in life is to get the truth out. And there's so many untruths we've been taught, told, we've been made to believe. Like it's just the more I learn, the more I'm shocked. It's like so deep, right? We didn't even know what we didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
no, I'm doing a lot better than I was, but getting old sucks because I still got a whole bunch of stuff to do. And when I go out to do it, I do a little and then say, I just want to go take a
yeah,
nap.
yeah.
But naps are
So,
good too, especially when you're up all night long and trying
yeah,
to share stories and make
yeah,
videos and all that. But
yeah.
it's all
So
good. I am feeling a lot better though.
awesome. So you have two more interviews today, which is
Yes, I do.
awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
So hopefully you'll hit a different audience and let them know about your story.
Yeah. Actually, I was supposed to do one yesterday and I didn't know it was on the calendar. I didn't put it on the calendar, but somebody
Yeah,
said, are you ready to go on? It's like I just walked in the door. I didn't even realize.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, I get people ask me to do something and it's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And then I need a secretary.
yeah. Once the story hits mainstream, you're going to have so many interviews, talks, lectures, people wanting to do more movies, books, whatever it might be. It's going
Yeah.
to make your head spin. It's going to be wonderful because you want to get out there.
Oh, it's the
It's
world to me to get it out. Yeah.
going to be great.
I'm hoping that this healing center happens real soon and
Yeah,
things, daddy makes it happen there
yeah,
because it would be a wonderful home base where we could start doing videos and sharing there and
yeah.
people could pop in and get their Danish and coffee and um yeah, you know, I've already had people say, "Oh, we'll volunteer to do this," and
Yeah,
I mean, things. You know, I was up for a few hours in the middle of the night writing on envelopes, addresses, just putting bumper sticker. You know, it's time consuming.
yeah, yeah. Well, you have several people that follow you and want to support you, and they're on Facebook or they're probably on everything, but I see their videos, their clips, their photos. What they put out is so creative and amazing
It
and
really
awesome.
is.
And one of them had created a mock-up of the healing center, probably through AI, but it was beautiful. It gives you something to envision, right, for the future, right? And that helps you to pull it forward, to help sure it
Yeah.
manifests. But I can see it like you have a speaking room, like an auditorium, people will come and hear your story as well as other guests, and you'll have events there as well. It's probably going to have a beautiful grounds, where people can go. They'll spend the day there and learn so much and enjoy the day. And you'll have, if I'm not mistaken, a healing part of the healing center where you can help rejuvenate other people that have been through trauma or
Oh yeah.
issues.
And you know, it's so wonderful. Robin is a retired dog groomer, and she's like, I would love to set up a little shop there and just, you know, do people's
Yeah,
dogs,
yeah,
you know, wash their ass when they need it, when they can't do it themselves.
yeah,
And
yeah.
um this other gal, she was like, I cut hair. I would love to, you know, show up there and cut people's hair for
Yeah.
free. So
Yeah.
I really think a lot of people are going to start volunteering where, hey,
Yeah.
people will stop by just to say hello and end up getting a haircut and their dog, you know,
Yeah.
shampooed.
Yeah. Well, you can have events like that, but there's going to be so many people that will show up to help you. They each have a skill or a passion, and they're going to want to be involved
All right,
in
no
whatever way it
kisses.
might be. Maybe you could have a Veterans Day and everything is free for the veterans or whatever. Like, I don't think you're going to be charging anyway, but
Yeah.
you'll support those groups that have been forgotten, you know?
Oh yeah, there's so many causes out there. It's just getting organized
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all
Well,
professional about how to do it.
you'll have the staff that will be event planning and handling all those details and tell you when to show up.
Yeah,
Right?
I have had so many people since I started sharing my story come to me
Yeah,
and say, "Hey, I've been through that MK Ultra," and you
yeah,
know, even family members that have been unalived, and it's like, "I would really like your help. I'd really like to talk to you."
yeah,
And here I am, and I look in my pocket, and there's only change, and there's no gas in my car,
yeah,
and I'm like, "I would love to help, but
yeah,
how could I help you?" Because I'm basically in the same position you
yeah,
are.
yeah. Well,
But
you're
I'm getting my story out, and that's the main mission is to get the story out and wake
yeah,
people up so we can all unite and then
yeah,
start helping these people that have not had any justice.
right. And like I said, you're like the tip of the iceberg. I mean, there's going to be, a few that will follow, and then the floodgates are going to open. And so many people will be following you, telling you or telling us their stories. It's going to shock us how many people will come forward, right? And I know I've had some people contact me as well, but I have a lack of time right now. And actually, so I'm looking for a couple of volunteers that want to help with a project for you. And if they
Oh,
are interested, they can contact me and I can explain what's necessary. But like I want to do so much more, but it's a lack of physical time. We all have that
yeah.
at times, but we'll
Well,
be
thank you, Sue. That's
super
appreciated.
productive in the first, very soon. Super productive, right?
And it's happening this year. Just
Yeah,
like you said, we're getting this out this year.
yeah,
It's going to explode.
yeah.
You know, it's only going to take one book to be a bestseller. It's only going to take one documentary. I wish I could say that. Dang. One little movie to
Yeah, yeah,
go viral, and it's done. They cannot hide it any longer when everybody is talking about it,
right.
and that's what I'm shooting for right there. Is
Yeah.
you know, the story to go viral.
So the status of the JFK files, like again, we all know that they're still being censored, but they're trickling them out, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But,
Well, you're never going to hear what you hear from me, and that's the truth. The
yeah,
JFK files are a war at the top. When you go to the Quiet Journey and you start watching that movie, you got to listen to my father. His words are more important than my words.
yeah, yeah,
And sorry. He says they're not coming with troops. They're coming secretly. And they're taking us over secretly. You got to listen to my father's words. Very, very important, because I'm trying to share what happened. And it was a secret war. They unalived my loved ones at the top to take over a mafia war. That's the files. My father was killed. My uncle was killed. My loved ones were killed because it was a war, and it was a hidden war, a secret war. And that's what my father was telling you. There's a secret war going on here. The media isn't telling you what you're supposed to know. And that's what happened. Now I'm here saying that's what happened. There was a
yeah,
secret war. That's the files right there. The
right,
people at the top, at the very top of our government, are the criminals that did it to my father and my family. No ifs, ands, or buts. It was a secret takeover. And that's the files right there and there. I don't care if you're who you are, if you're Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Barack Obama, you are part of that criminal top right then and there.
right,
And that's why my father was unalived and my family was unalived, to build these people up and keep putting them in
right,
power.
right. And one of the things you've told us through the past year is that they basically killed your dad in public sight, in plain sight, so that they wouldn't replace him with a clone or a double. Okay,
Yeah,
so
the only way they could have got away with it is if they said my father lived.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, he got rushed to the hospital and he lived, he survived. So you'll see him next month. He'll be doing his speeches again or whatever.
yeah,
No, they unalived him right in broad daylight.
yeah,
Then they made sure they said, yes, he's dead at the hospital. And that was so, because identity theft is so big at the
right,
top. The
right,
power is so important. The presidential power is so important at the top to have all that power. That's
yeah,
why when they unalived my father, they made sure that vice president was in there within 2 hours. Boom, he's there. Now he's the president because it's that powerful of a position.
yep,
And there's that much bullshit that can go on at the top, and it does. But
right,
my father in the Quiet Journey movie is telling you right at the beginning, it's happening, it's going on, it's a secret war, and
yeah.
they're taking over, and that's what they did.
They've quietly infiltrated, okay? So they're in public places, of course, in entertainment, because they influence our opinions and our views and values that way, right? Look at how society has declined in its values in the past, whatever, 20, 30, 40 years, but also in political positions of power and influence as well. All right, so they've infiltrated. And so your imposter or the person that replaced you, the John, was killed again publicly, if you will, in a plane crash. All right. So they couldn't bring him back, right? It's very unlikely someone would live through a plane crash.
Yeah,
It
even though
really
I
is.
have a couple of
Yeah.
times. But
Yeah. And
yeah,
that's a different story. But it's unlikely the average person would live through a plane crash. So he was purposefully taken out of the public eye so he couldn't be replaced, right? And then, of course, they can suck the money out of the estate, like we talked. But they now have, again, their replacement is gone. So he can't be brought back, right? Done a lot more than we know. Yeah.
hey Robin, come here a minute, I need a secretary. Sorry, Sue.
I need a secretary. That's funny.
Robin's probably in the bedroom listening to
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
she was on, yeah.
Message that person on whatever they, something about a talk show in a half hour or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
It's in the like, okay.
Yeah, just tell them
Yep.
it's all good.
So, we're just chit-chatting today. There's really no agenda, just to see how you're doing, what's up. But sometimes you'll tell us good stories. We just talk about the status of your life, what's going on. And
And we're doing it this year. And it's all
yeah,
thanks to people like you and these lions and getting it out.
yeah,
And it's so appreciated. It
yeah.
really, really is.
Like I said, I see this story all the time on social media, but again, it just takes someone to click and look into it a little bit more deeply. What are they talking about? Is this real or are they crazy? Well, why don't you find out? Read the book, listen to the
Yeah.
documentary, right? The documentary is so well done. It's very, it's very well put together. It's very moving. I cried through most of it. It's very well done. So it's
And
all,
you actually get to see me in my Harley.
yeah,
I'm so proud of that Harley. I always
yeah,
wanted one. You know,
yeah.
Elvis Presley gave me a Harley when I was a kid,
Did
basically
he?
a young man. And the Cabal basically had control of it. I never got to, strut it around or do any of that.
Yeah.
So I've always wanted a Harley to call my own. And I was like, can my Harley be in the little movie?
So he gave you a Harley as a child, like, or were you like a teenager?
I was I'm thinking 18 years old.
Oh, okay, okay. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it actually was at the Hells Angels clubhouse, locked in a cage, and it wasn't nothing real fancy, but it was kind of like the loaner bike that was there, and people could
Yeah,
use it. And when I would show up, I would ride it, and I would work on it and
yeah.
things like that. But yeah, it was actually, that's what I was told anyway. Elvis gave that to me.
Oh, cool. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you can thank him again very soon. It's going to be a big year. Going to be a big year. It is a big year already.
It
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
And it's not that I was disappointed last year. I was saying 24, justice for
yeah,
John. It's justice for all of us in 24, and we're still fighting. But
yeah,
there's so many people
yeah,
now that saying this year it's going to happen, and so many people doing um their part in sharing the story that it's going to happen. It really, really is. Just like just like these stickers,
yeah,
handing them out. It's I was sharing, yesterday I had to write the quiet journey down on a piece of paper and hold it
yeah.
up and say, go to this. Now I got a bumper sticker on the wall that shares it.
It's more
And heck, a few
professional.
years back I was doing videos on Facebook off of a food stamp cell phone, they give you because you're poor and you can't afford a phone. So
Yeah,
they give you a phone. I was trying to, hey, I'm John Kennedy Jr. on my
yeah.
food stamp phone. And now, like Robin got me this nice computer and even bought me a nice cell phone, and other people send their love gifts. It's a lot better than a food stamp phone now.
Yay, yay. Well, I'm so happy like things are looking up. It's going to be a great year. It is a great year already. The fact that you're getting the attention, like this company that made the documentary did an amazing job. So if they're watching this, I say thank you. And everyone really appreciates their time and effort. And really, it took them no time to put it together. They did a great,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, even all these people are so appreciated and loved.
yeah,
Source
yeah,
of love, I believe,
yeah,
and these other people that put these
yeah,
documentaries together on the website.
yeah,
It you know they're even getting a lot of views also, but
yeah,
not what they should be getting,
yeah.
and they are well done.
Everything is censored. So sourceofloveofficial.com did the website. So she put it together and she did my new website and she's done several other people's websites. She does a beautiful job. So if anyone that's watching needs a graphic or logo or a website, I highly recommend her,
Yeah,
very
beautiful, beautiful.
creative, but very usable as well. So
Yeah,
awesome.
wonderful, wonderful
Awesome.
gal.
So you have two more interviews today. Do you know the times? I think you told us one was on TikTok at
Yeah, I
eight
think that
o'clock.
was later, around 8 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, okay.
Um, Mojo always does her lives just about every day on Clapper and TikTok, and me and Robin both try to join in there. Um, they spend a lot of time trying to share the story as well.
Yeah, yeah,
So thank you, Mojo. Mojo's husband, wonderful guy. I talked to him on the phone. It's been about 6 months ago, but he says, "Hey, we're dedicated to share your story."
yeah,
But
yeah.
he drew this picture for me,
Oh, wow.
and I'm sure it took him a
Good.
really long time. But yeah, this is the one from this one with my cowboy hat on.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah, and I'm gonna find a great place on the wall to put that. It's so appreciated. It really is. It's cool. I
well,
love it when I get little gifts like that. Yesterday, I mean, I've only had Bubba a few days, and somebody sent me a little Bubba. Isn't that cute?
that's fabulous.
Robin opened it up yesterday, and she opened it out of the package. She's like, "Oh, it's got sunglasses," and she was all
Yeah,
gluing the sunglasses on there. But
yeah, that's
I
so
got a
cute.
little Bubba to share.
Little
It's
Bubba.
cool. It's cool. Little things like that just
Yeah,
make our day.
yeah,
It's like so much love. It's cool.
yeah. Well, I was just thinking about the picture. When you have your healing center, you'll have an office there, but you're gonna have like I don't know, museum-ish,
Oh
a
yeah.
display
I
area.
I have totes of actual books and photo albums. A lot of these people have passed away, and a lot of these people find them in the attics or whatever. Hey, this
Yeah,
was my
yeah,
mother's, this was my father's, this was my grandparents, and they send them to me, and it's all going in. There's so many things to share. They've made so much money off of my
yeah,
family.
yeah.
They really, really have. And there's so
Literally,
many items. I mean, I never even knew that this existed. I might have when I was young or whatever, but I mean,
yeah,
that's a bank of my father. I
yeah,
mean, my father was such a big deal. Still, there's so much money with my father's name, my name on it, John Kennedy.
yeah.
It's, I had a guy make me this. I was like, how much for one of those? He's like, you put the coins in there. It was like $5 or $6. I was like, yeah, I'd love one of those.
Cool.
So that's really cool.
So, in looking on social media or even flipping through videos to watch or on TV, all you see are clips of your parents or your imposter John or whatever. They're in everything. They're on magazine covers still. Like they're still being talked about 60 years later,
Yeah. And what
right?
I want to do is say, hey, these people were part of an organized crime war. They're not even who they say they are. There's no Kennedy blood in them whatsoever. They were placed to steal people's identity and their power and money.
Right.
And with that said, King Smarty and his wonderful,
Yep.
beautiful dog tags, these are going to
Yeah.
be collector's items too, as
They
well.
totally are. Yeah. And these are available on John's website, the real John F. Kennedy Jr.com in 5 colors and 2 sizes. So mine is a small size and this is silver and you can't really see it right now, but it's got a picture of John's first book. Like it's not really showing up too well.
You
Sorry.
can see it a little bit.
Yeah,
They move
but
around,
yeah.
but yeah, it's got this picture on there.
They're beautiful, and the good thing is they have those healing and protective frequencies in them, which is why, we wear them all the time pretty much. It's a passive way of healing. Plus, you could talk to somebody and you could show them the picture, right? So I saw somebody this morning, I showed them the picture. I don't really think they got it. But then I gave them the website, right? And it's a way to start the conversation.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
actually went to court the other day, and I knew going into a courthouse, you can't bring in metal jewelry. You got to take it off, put it in a thing. So I took all my jewelry off, and I took this off at home, and I put it on the counter here. I'm like, fuck, I feel naked.
Yeah. And that's probably when you needed it the most,
I
right?
know, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Courthouse. So,
Yeah,
oh,
as soon as you walk in there, you don't have any guns, knives,
yeah.
screwdrivers, razor blades. It's like, dude, come on.
So, yeah, in all the federal buildings, they have the metal detector things and they have the guards standing there. It's like, you know,
Wouldn't
poor,
it be nice if this was America for we the people, where
yeah,
the people there were actually there to help you and not take your money and
yeah,
be nice to you and say, "Oh, you got a problem? Let's work it out."
yeah.
But no, they piss so many people off. They need those armed guards there. They need you to go through a metal detector. And it's all probably because of the cabal in the first place to hire those people to keep taking your money and
Exactly.
one big vicious cycle.
Ugly. Yeah.
And we're actually good people. We're actually, society's, you know,
I think the average person is a good person. They just want, we all want the same things, right? We want to live and have a happy existence with our family and enjoy life, right? And that is a little different for every person, but we've got so much pain and suffering inflicted on us anymore. We think violence is a natural thing for us now, right?
yeah.
And I don't think it is. I don't think that was our purpose in coming here, but I think we've been infiltrated. And then that belief becomes inherent in our society through repetition, right?
I was just thinking of a story that happened to me a couple days ago, and I was like thinking, they're still the stupid people.
Yeah,
You got to be smart, and here's an example. I was driving down my street right here, and there was a car parked right in the middle of the road. The guy was talking to his girlfriend or whatever. So I made sure he acknowledged me. I was like, "Hey, man, I'm going around you." He saw me. I went around him. There was a guy in the yard right here. And I'm looking, and he's like, "Fuck you, motherfucker. Fuck you." And the guy, even that I seen that acknowledged me, that was talking to his girlfriend in the middle of the street, was looking at him like, "Are you fucking nuts? What
yeah,
is your problem?"
yeah.
And I started to slow down. And I said, "Look, I could either act like I'd never seen him, I could slam on the brakes, spin rubber, pull up next to him, ask him what the fuck his problem is, and then probably have to shoot the bastard in his front yard. Or I could just be smart and just keep going to Walmart and be happy and not worry about it."
It's funny. All right, I saw a clip on one of the social medias. It like I'm gonna mess it up, but it was like these guys were on a sidewalk and they said if we treated pedestrians like we treat drivers. So the guys are walking along and one passes the other one and the other one looks at him, gives him the finger, gets all mad, then he tries to speed up. It had me screaming. It was because it's so funny. It's exactly the way we drive, right? So if somebody cuts us off, we get all angry at them and all that. Normally, I'm pretty chill in the car, right? If somebody does that, I'm like, it's okay, because I'm usually punctual and I've planned for contingencies and all that. Last week, I was going to yoga, right? Now, yoga is all about calming down your nervous system. So, a guy literally almost slams into me twice, cuts me off and all this. And so my stress level goes up and I give him a little look while I'm driving by, like, you jerk. And then I'm like, oh my God, what's happening to me? And I laughed like hell the whole rest of the trip. I laughed at myself because it was so immature, childlike, and funny. So why do we treat people like that? Why?
It's
Isn't it funny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some stupid,
Ridiculous. So.
and a lot of it's over nothing. It really is.
Yeah, yeah, it's all over nothing. Like we perceive this great injustice when it's really someone in their own little bubble, not thinking about someone else, right? They might be inconsiderate, but it's all good.
When
Okay.
me and Robin bought this truck that we have now, I had this old Ford, I believe it was a '97 Ford half-ton pickup truck, and I pretty much gave it away.
Yeah,
I did for what it was and the new tires that were on it and everything. But I sold it on Facebook Marketplace,
yeah,
and the next day, the guy that bought it, and I pretty much gave it away. I think I sold this truck for $1,200. The tires were worth $1,200. But he emails me and says, "You fucked me, buddy. You sold me the biggest piece of shit. How did you ever do this to me?" And I
Yeah.
was like, "For real?" I really was. I was like, you can't be serious."
Yeah.
He said, "This truck doesn't run. I'm never going to get it running." Right. So me and Robin decided we were going to go eat because I just got all this whole big chunk of truck money. So we were going to go out to eat. Well, we went out to eat, and guess what we saw driving down the road?
Your truck.
My truck. I mean, right after he was saying I screwed him,
Yeah.
that truck's broke down on the side of the road. It's never going to run. And this guy is with his girlfriend, just happy as can be, driving my truck down the road.
That's funny.
I was
That's
like,
funny.
what is wrong with people in today's
People,
society?
yeah, it's crazy. So we just had a question on the chat. It said, are Hell's Angels all men, or are there any women involved?
No, no women.
Okay. Any reason for that? Just asking the question.
Male chauvinism.
Okay. That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
it's all about guys.
Yeah. Okay. I just thought I'd ask it because I was like, well, that's a good question.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, you got the girlfriends and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
if you go on a ride, they're not allowed to go. Well, that's how it used to be anyway.
Ah,
But yeah, it was basically male chauvinism, I guess you want to call that word.
yep. Yep. Okay. Yep. Don't want to interrupt them cooking and
Yeah, it's kind
cleaning.
of like you know, I don't think women should be in the military myself because there's so many things that can happen with a woman being in the military, whether it's her getting captured or raped, or there's just so many, being in boot camp with a bunch of horny ass guys. There's just so much that can go wrong with them. And the Hells Angels consider themselves as like a little group of military men.
Right.
So, you could go on, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad to touch base with you this week, and today was just kind of a fun conversation. But if you're good with it, we'll talk again soon, and
I appreciate it, Sue,
whatever
so
comes out will
much.
come out. So, thank you for your time and good two interviews today, and setting up more and more and more, and the avalanche of information getting out there.
Thank
Right?
you, Sue.
Yeah, and
Thanks
thank
so
you all
much. Go
for
there,
watching.
go there, go there, go there. See the video, share it to the world.
Yeah.
There's actually a button on Facebook to go there and share it to Facebook. So let's light up Facebook. Those haters, let's do it.
Let's do it. Thank you all so much for your support of John. This is the year.
Thanks, Sue.
John.
With all my
Bye-bye.
heart and soul, thank you, Sue.
Thank you.